Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of the Purple Circle podcast. And today we shall be discussing a very interesting topic. We shall be talking about life with multiple autoimmune conditions. And I hope after hearing this conversation, you will leave feeling much more empowered and knowledgeable about these conditions. So, with me today, I have two amazing guests. I have Victoria and Lorraine. Yeah, and my name is Joy. I'll be your host for the show today. So yeah, let's start with some bit of fun. Kidogo kidogo. Kwanza, how are you guys feeling?
I'm actually so excited. Like,
Awesome.
I'm thinking, you people will wonder, why is she not stopping to smile? I will smile a lot. I'm so happy. Thank you for having me.
Karibu, karibu. How are you feeling, Lorraine?
I'm happy, very excited to be here, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to come and share my story and empower the warriors.
Nice.
Thank you.
So let's begin with you. I have like just some fun icebreaker questions.
Okay.
So what's a hill you would die on? Like maybe a strong opinion that you feel very opinionated on. That's so random.
Okay. The hill I will die on is actually about invisible illnesses, and
Okay.
it's the fact that people living with invisible and chronic illnesses don't have to look sick to be sick or to be believed. We don't have to look shabby and dirty and thin and like we are homeless and pathetic to be believed that we're sick. I can dress up, look presentable, look nice, put makeup on, wear heels, and still have chronic pain. And I should be believed when I say I'm in pain.
Yeah.
That's the hill I'm willing to die
And you
on.
actually look very nice today.
Thank you.
Yeah, quite stunning. and you, Victoria?
Okay.
Yeah. So let me ask you. Then you can actually respond to hers. Yeah.
Okay. So for me, a hill I'd be willing to die on. I am very willing to die on this one. There's nothing like fashionably late. You're just late. Period. You're disrespecting people's time. You're late. That is it.
Don't lie.
Don't lie.
You're 5
And
minutes
if
away.
you're late, because I understand we can't like plan the whole like your whole life, the bits and pieces that will seep out, but communicate like a grown adult. That's it.
You know?
Yeah, just say I'm running late. I'll be there in like 30. Don't lie. I'm even ndio huyo mimi nakuona. What is that? Yes. So yeah.
Nimevaa shati ya white.
Nimevaa shati ya white. Yeah.
Okay, so still at you. What's your toxic trait? Like a fun one?
Yeah, guys, don't come at me, please. Understand we live with chronic pain. My toxic trait is that I will not communicate for like 5 months, and then on the 6th month, I will plan a really nice date and take you out, and then you'll have the best time of your life, and then you'll forgive me.
Yeah,
That's how I
let's-
run my friendships actually. And that means I have a very small circle because
Yeah.
then they can't depend on you a lot. But I usually say it's because I'm almost always overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So trying to navigate my own life and then accommodate 5 other different people is a lot of work. So if you cannot understand that and just be okay with the nice date at the 6th month mark, then yeah.
Yeah, and also this thing of cancelling plans, postponing.
Hey,
Yeah.
we'll talk about
We'll talk
that.
about that.
Yeah.
And you, Lorena, toxic traits that you have.
Actually, I think I have two. One is has an involvement with chronic illnesses. The other one doesn't. But kind of does. The first one is I have this marathon with my alarm clocks. I can never set an alarm at 5 a.m. and wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
I have an alarm at 5, 5:02, 5:05, 5:10,
Wow.
5:15, 5:20, 5:30, 5:45, 6. Like
So that you're able to wake up.
Exactly.
At 7.
An hour of alarms before I can be
Wow.
able to wake up and get out of bed. You know, there's waking up and there's getting out
That's
of bed.
true.
Yeah.
So I set so many alarms and I sleep through 90% of them. 90%, I don't even hear them.
Wow.
And the alarm is right next to me. So I think it's a fun one. I mean, it's unique. Yeah.
Well.
And also I have this thing where I disappear from social gatherings. We could be at an event, at a party, somewhere, and I'll just feel so overwhelmed. Maybe I've developed some symptoms, or because I'm naturally an introvert, I'm overstimulated and stuff, and I'll just go home. Then I'll text you from home. I went home and
Actually
I'm in
went.
bed. I'm in bed. Yeah,
I feel
Well,
like
okay.
if I was introverted, I would be doing that so much.
I do that a
It's just that
lot.
I'm not.
I think I've done that
but,
a few
yeah.
times.
Really?
Yeah, I'll just disappear and then tell guys by then nilienda.
Yeah.
Eh,
Niko
But-
kwa kitanda.
No, to say something about her first toxic trait, which I think is just give yourself a break. It's not toxic.
Yeah.
But what I'd say is, people don't understand how difficult waking up is for us. Like,
Yeah.
waking up is a whole thing. If I
Yeah.
wake up the wrong way, there's a right way to wake up. If I wake up the wrong way, I'm having a
Exactly.
bad day the whole day. And not a bad day in the kind of your energy is off.
Yeah.
The pain is bad. Like, my
Exactly.
mind is not managing that pain like
Yeah.
that. So if I wake up too fast, if I am startled by the alarm or like a phone call or stuff like that, I will have a really bad day. My heart will not be cooperating. The palpitations will be so bad. The anxiety, like I
Yeah.
have to wake up
Mhm.
and then take 30 minutes just in bed, just lying down, not doing anything.
Exactly. Me
My
too.
body has to agree that, okay, tumeamka sasa,
Yeah.
like that.
You're ready
Otherwise,
for
I'll
the
have a
day.
very bad day. Yeah. So when you're calling me in the morning and then I'm like mad at you because you woke me up, it's not you, it's my body. Thanks.
It's triggered some symptoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so now let's talk about your journeys, both of you.
Mhm.
Yeah. Who'd like to go first?
Not me.
It's okay. I can go first.
Okay, so how did it all begin? Yeah, what was the first condition, and then how did it spiral to the rest?
Okay. So my journey has been my whole life, basically.
Okay.
I've been sick ever since I was born. I was at 3 months old. I suffered from measles, and the immunization is at 9 months old.
Yeah.
So my mom actually didn't know I was sick and I had measles. She just thought that I have this pink rash from heat, overdressing the baby and such stuff. So she didn't take me to the hospital immediately. Then I started having fevers. Measles comes with a lot of fevers. So now when she realized the fevers were getting out of hand, she took me to the hospital, and the nurses and the doctors were all very concerned. How did you have your baby like this at home? How did she even survive all those days? And from that day, I have never recovered. That's all I can say.
Okay.
I've been sick. My whole childhood was spent in hospitals. I learned medical terms before I could learn my name, before I could learn anything in school.
Wow, yeah.
It was so much that I thought I was supposed to be a doctor when I was a child. I thought that would be the right contribution to humanity because of how much doctors had given to me and the support, the treatment, and all that. But then when I was a child, I think it's because of the healthcare system in Kenya. I was seeing pediatricians, and I was getting medical help, but I was never diagnosed with an autoimmune condition when I was young. Because I used to have issues with, especially the chest problems, bronchitis, pneumonia, fevers, such problems. Or I'd have maybe a chronic symptom that lingers for maybe 5-7 years, and then it disappears and a new one comes. So I was never properly diagnosed. But whenever I would get a small infection, like for example, chickenpox, every kid had that.
Yeah.
Chickenpox for me was so bad that it made me stay out of school for a whole term, 4 months.
Wow.
I did not study the whole of class 5 that term
Mm.
because my chickenpox took too long to recover. I remember I was in isolation ward, just me and my mom, and she had to undergo so many immune system tests to ensure that I'll not pass it to her. And then from that, I got a very bad pneumonia attack. And then the chickenpox came back, and then pneumonia again. I just didn't go back to school. I just went to class 6 automatically, just like that. Yeah, it was so bad. But then when I got to around 13 years, I kind of felt better, kidogo, for a short period. It's not that I wasn't sick. I was sick, but the symptoms reduced. Then I went to high school, and I had a short break also for maybe 9 months. Then when I turned 15, my symptoms came in the worst way possible. Symptoms I've never seen before. they're
They
such
brought cousins,
yeah,
aunties,
Yeah.
brothers,
uncles, grandparents,
exactly. Everyone,
ancestors.
everyone came. Things
Mm.
I had never experienced. It was so
Mhm.
horrific.
Mhm.
And being in a Kenyan public school, I don't want
Yeah.
to explain to you. I don't want to
Y'all.
spell it out.
Hmm.
It was the most horrific period of my time.
Mm.
See why I didn't comment when she was talking about the waking up part?
Yeah.
It's because I can write a book about
About
me
the
and
waking
waking up. I can literally write a whole book about it. Morning preps was so hard for me.
Oh God.
And everyone used to make fun of me. Oh, Lorin, wezi kama umeamka. Lorin, kazi yako ni kulala. Lorin, ulikuja shule kulala. Oh, Lorin, kazi yako tu ni ukae tu upumzike, utaki kusoma. But I couldn't stay awake. And for me, it's not even waking up the wrong way or anything. I have no explanation to this. I could not stay awake. In the morning, I wake up, I start feeling dizzy, nausea, and I need to sleep. And sleep is the only thing that will sort the issue for me out. And then when we get to around 8:30, 9 a.m., my brain starts to wake up and I'm better and now I can stay awake. And this used to bother me a lot. Teachers used to say whenever you have a symptom, kidogo, abdominal pain, nini, they give you Actal, that's the most they could do, and diclofenac.
Paracetamol.
Yeah, for us it was Actal and diclofenac, and the rest you're pretending. And it was so bad that in Form 3, I was diagnosed with appendicitis, inflammation of the appendix. And if anyone who's had appendicitis can tell you this, appendicitis is one of the most painful forms of inflammation to have.
Yeah.
And when you have, for example, acute appendicitis, if you don't get your appendix removed within 24 to 48 hours, it will burst. It will give you peritonitis, which is inflammation of the pelvic floor or the abdominal wall. And it will give you sepsis, which will kill you. It's a fast killer disease. It's diagnosed with appendicitis, and my teachers could not allow me to get surgery because there's nothing like inflammation of the appendix. You're pretending you made that up. I made up appendicitis.
Can I go beat them? Like, just stab me. Let me go beat them for you.
I know, it was so horrific. But luckily for me, or I don't know if it's a guardian angel or something, my dad did come to school, took me from school, took me to a different hospital. Because now, if the hospital is insisting I need to get surgery within 24 hours, no parent will accept their child to have surgery without understanding what is going on. My child has been sick. No, my parents knew I've always been sick. So I was taken to another hospital for a second opinion. And then there was an issue with the surgery. So I didn't have the surgery. Then the doctor said, if I'm not going to get surgery, I'm supposed to take antibiotics for 6 months and then the infection will clear. Because my appendix was just, they said it was mildly inflamed at that point, but the pain I was going through didn't sound like mild inflammation.
Anywhere.
So I went back to school and I did this thing where my brain blocked the pain. So because of teachers insisting I'm pretending, I convinced myself, I would ask myself, I'm pretending, I'm imagining the pain, I'm just frustrated by this school and I'm imagining pain. So I'm not even in that much pain. Imagine I would feel pain, but in my head, there's no pain. But physically, yes. If I sit down alone with my thoughts, I can feel the pain. But if I'm talking to you, I'm happy and laughing and going about my life. And I went through life like that for 9 years with appendicitis. And when I had my appendix removed, my surgeon told me, Lauren, because he's done all of my surgeries, because I've had a few surgeries. He told me, Lauren, I will never, ever, ever allow you to stay like this again. If you let a disease grow to this point, I'll not do the surgery. You'll have to find a new surgeon. Because you put me in a very difficult position in theater because I opened you up and saw how inflamed your appendix was, and I didn't know what to do. If I detach it from your colon, because it's attached to the end of the colon, if I detach it from the colon, the possibility of your appendix immediately bursting is high. If I pass my tools near there, it might burst. It's so delicate. But then what am I supposed to do? And I can't leave you with it. He had to seek help from another surgeon.
Wow.
It was so bad. And then my pelvis was bleeding. There was a lot of blood inside there. They don't know where it's coming from. He told me he has done so many surgeries, removed so many appendix, yeah, I think it's appendix, I'm not sure, but never seen one like mine. Like I had never seen one like mine. And that day I just sat down and cried because I know I was in pain all through. I've had multiple surgeries and never insisted that the appendix, it has a problem, because I convinced myself, you're imagining it. It's not that serious. You're not in pain. And I think from that, I have a very high pain threshold. Maybe I can withstand very painful things.
Yeah, many people with multiple chronic
Yeah.
autoimmunes can
And then
stand a
Kate,
lot of
like she's
pain.
calling me out. I'm like, can we switch? Can I be the host? Because where?
Yeah, because it was so bad. And then so in high school also I developed acid reflux, which is something I did not have before. Again, I'm in a Kenyan public high school. Uko na acidity. Utaki kula mbosho, najifanya huwezi kula beans, unataka kukula special diet.
Yeah.
So they assumed I made that up. I was convinced again I'm making up acid reflux. Again, in Kenya, majority of people go about wakisema niko na acidity and nothing happens to
nothing
them.
happens,
What did
yeah.
I do again? Block that. It's not that serious. You're not feeling anything. I blocked it again, continued with life. So I finished Form 4. And then that year, as I was waiting to join campus, I used to have diarrhea because my whole life I've been having diarrhea. So my mom took me. I used to have my diarrhea started worsening during my menstruation. My periods, diarrhea was so bad. So my mom thought it's a gynecological issue and took me to a gynecologist. The gynae said it's not a gynae issue, it's a gastro issue. So I went to a gastroenterologist, did tests, and then I was diagnosed with IBS, which my mom has. So it's nothing new to us. I was told lifestyle changes because I was too young to get medication for it and all that. But I got meds for the first month. Then I continued. We thought, I might say yes, that makes you diarrhea. Then we continued with that. And then somewhere along the way, so around in 2020, I was bitten by a snake.
You?
Like Jamani.
Hey.
Like what?
Yeah.
Okay.
See, that time when COVID was really bad and stuff, there
Yeah.
was the 7 p.m. curfew and all that.
Yeah.
Nikauma na nyoka. So I think that is what triggered now everything bad. No, I've lived with symptoms my whole life and chronic symptoms and stuff. Now I think the body just, the venom, when you're treated with an antivenom, the venom, yes, itaisha. But then if a part of your body was affected, now utaishi with that. Now, we did not see an organ that was affected that time, but don't forget I had autoimmunity that was not addressed. Now my body went full blown. All the symptoms I had, kama your acidity, it went from acid reflux, the one that burns me and I take omeprazole and stuff, to vomiting blood. I cannot even stand properly because of the chest pain. The symptoms became extreme, to burning in my throat, to a very bitter metallic taste in my mouth. It was crazy. So I did my first endoscopy. I was diagnosed with gut disease. Again, we've not even gotten to the autoimmune part. No one is thinking about it. So now you have gut disease. We treat that. They found I have gut, I have esophagitis and laryngitis and pharyngitis. So the entire point from the throat to the stomach is inflamed. And also I had gastritis. So they just told me it's inflammation because of the acid reflux. We start you on very strong PPIs and you'll be fine. I was started on PPIs.
What are PPIs?
What are PPIs?
It's hizo kina omeprazole, proton pump
okay,
inhibitors, zile
okay.
dawa za kupunguza acidity.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started my PPIs. And then I was treated for 6 months. You see, I was vomiting blood. So I was sent to a surgeon, not a gastroenterologist physician. Because now they thought if I'm bleeding internally, I would need surgery. But then they found out it's because of the severe GERD. It was irritating my esophagus, then I would vomit blood.
Yeah.
So the surgeon was treating me for the first 6 months. Akasema, yeah, I've treated you for GERD for 6 months and you've not showed any improvement. So what I think is you should get a surgery called a Nissen's fundoplication.
So what?
A Nissen's fundoplication.
Okay.
Yes, it's called.
What is that?
I'm getting there
Okay,
really quick
sorry.
because I've already done it. So
Oh.
yeah, my life never got better. Well, so I did not get the surgery because since I was a baby, I used to be told to get so many surgeries and I never got them. So my parents would think maybe it will pass like when she was a child, but
Yeah.
it never passed this time. I continued worsening and worsening and worsening. So that doctor told me it's against my work ethic as a surgeon to continue treating you when you're not getting better. And I know you'll not get better. You'll need the surgery. So now he told me I'm going to refer you to a physician. Maybe they are better versed with medications and they might be able to help you. So I was sent to a physician. The Kenyan healthcare system. The physician I was sent to did not tell me that these will not get better after the endoscopies and stuff. He did not even tell me it was really bad. So I was on treatment for another like 1 year and a half. By the time we got to 2022, around October-ish, I was hallucinating. I was actually a mad person. I could not tell you my name. I could not even stay with clothes on. I had this thing where like clothes were burning me. So I just wanted to stay naked in my house and not do anything. And I just woke up one day, called my mom and told her, you have to come and you have to take me to somewhere, someplace, someone to get me help.
Wait. You know, you've said your house. Were you living by yourself?
Yes.
Ay, Jamini. Aje.
I like staying
Like
alone.
that.
Yes,
like
I
with
like
all those symptoms,
Yes.
you're navigating by yourself.
Yes, I like staying alone.
Where?
I'm an introvert and a true one.
A true one.
A true one.
That's
a
a
natural
true one for
yeah.
sure.
But your cousin and brother live next to you.
That is now.
Okay.
That time I was alone with no one around me. The nearest
Okay.
person was like 230 kilometers away.
Or
Yeah, that's like 4.5 hours away from me. Yeah, but I called her and told her something is wrong with me and I need help, and it's not medical help. Just take me to someplace. I don't know what to do. So my mom came because I've been sick my whole life. She knows when I call her, because I usually take myself to the hospital ever since I was a child. I would take myself to the hospital, talk to the doctors. She knows I can manage myself. So if I've gotten to the extent of needing my mother as an adult, she knows there's a problem. So she came, took me to the same physician. We repeated an endoscopy. Then we found out that I had, because of the untreated gut disease, developed a very big hiatus hernia. And now my stomach was slipping under my diaphragm and pressing my left lung. Because by that time now I was choking. I could not breathe well. I was experiencing so many unique symptoms that I didn't have before. So now the surgery was a must. You have to get the surgery, and as an emergency. Again, healthcare system, insurance in Kenya, weird. The insurance said we're not going to pay for your surgery if we've paid for a procedure like endoscopy. So you have to wait for 1 week so that we can pay for it. My mom asked me, can you wait? And I said, yeah. I went home and I thought I would actually wait. That was on a Friday. Stayed home Saturday and Sunday. On Monday, I do not have a recollection of this. My mom is the one who told me. I woke up, went to the showered, did my things, prepared myself. See, by that time now I was regurgitating a lot. So I could not swallow anything, could not keep my meds down, any food, nothing. So I was just not eating. I tried to eat something, couldn't. Tried to take my meds, couldn't. I went to the utensils shelf, took a knife, brought it to her and told her, Mom, cut my toes. If you cut my toes, I'll be fine and I'll never feel any pain again. And my mom knew, we are done.
here.
This is the peak.
Emergency.
Actually, you said that was
Emergency.
hallucination. At this point, I think it has another name. It must have another name.
Yeah, it was insane. I do not even remember that part.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Like crazy.
My mom was
crazy.
panicking. She does not know what to do. So she decided to get a cab and take me to the hospital. The cab driver was in so much shock of the state I was in that, you know how in Nairobi, there are places where you don't have like two-way roads, so you have to go around and turn. He couldn't do that. He decided, mimi naenda against traffic. Nyie mnakuja na mimi naenda towards the hospital. Police wakamsimamisha.
Like an ambulance.
Yeah. The police stopped him. He did not even say a word. Aliwafungulia tu dirisha. They saw me. They were like, go, just go.
And then,
it was bad.
It was bad.
By the time I came back to consciousness and understood things, it was like 4 p.m. And I'm like, what happened? Why is it 4 p.m.? Why do I have cannulas and stuff? What's happening? And then my mom was like, yeah, you're going for surgery tomorrow morning. And we're waiting for tomorrow because the surgeon we need is a very experienced one, and he was not available today. So you'll have to wait. But there were other surgeons who could do it, but the state, it was really bad because my hernia was really big. It was very extensive. My sphincter valve needed to be reconstructed, and my stomach was under my lungs. Now it needed to be removed from there. Yeah. And the pain I was in. By that time, I'd been given morphine and stuff, so there's no pain. I'm like, I can go home. I feel fine. I feel fine.
Okay, at this point, you're dealing with how many conditions?
Then that time
counting, guys.
It's gastritis, esophagitis, laryngitis, pharyngitis, IBS, and I had developed now bile reflux at that point.
Okay.
And then at the same time now I have a very large hiatus hernia, and also I had just done an ultrasound the week prior and realized I have a supraumbilical hernia. So I have all that with 2 hernias.
Okay.
A hernia is like a gap in your body that now needs to be covered, so that, because now like a supraumbilical hernia is the one where, probably you've seen this, where kids have like kitovu yake, kitu inatokea, akicheka, and then akilala flat ama akitulia inarudi. The intestines enter there. There's a space in your umbilicus. When you are young, it did not cover properly. So for me, my intestines used to enter there, and then zina form a knot and could not come out. So the pain, and also food will not move properly. So now I have all these I'm dealing with and so much pain. But luckily for hernias, they are mechanical problems. Once you get the mesh, the surgery, and get the mesh put in place, you're fine. Yeah. So
Nice.
the next morning I woke up, went to theater. And this is why, and I like talking about, this is what made me start talking about my autoimmune conditions, because I lived through my life not talking about my conditions, not telling people how sick I am, and believing that I'm thinking, hearing things, and it's just things in my head. Because I went to theater knowing nothing about the surgery I was going to do. Nothing. I just know its name, Nissan's fundoplication. I know nothing else. This is the first time I'm seeing the surgeon who's doing it. First time I'm going to theater, and I'm going to learn about this there. It was so scary. Actually, I remember I did my surgery. The theater was on the 10th floor, and I was so scared. And I thought, ama nitoke kwa hiyo dirisha, I just jump. That's what I thought. And then I was like, no, it's not even that serious. So I went to theater, did my surgery, the Nissan's fundoplication. So they cut your stomach, part of your stomach, and then use it to reconstruct the esophageal sphincter, the valve that opens when you swallow food that connects the stomach and the esophagus. Mine was loose from the severe acid reflux. Same acid reflux that I was told, kila mtu anakuwaga na acidity. Yako si special. Yako si nini? Si special. Yeah. Now that is what got me there. That is why we need to hear warriors. And when someone says they're sick, they're really sick. And because you've lived with a condition for 50 years and it hasn't done anything to you, and I'm 20, doesn't mean that mine could not be severe than yours. So I had my surgery. This surgery was so hard to recover from. When I say so hard to recover from, you cannot eat. No, they've done things to your stomach. I have a very large mesh now between the stomach and the diaphragm, covering the hernia, the reconstruction of the valve. And then my stomach was attached to my abdominal wall so that it doesn't move. So now there's no eating. I totally forgot how to walk. I could not walk. I could not speak the first few days. I forgot everything. I could not pass urine, could not pass stool. Your body forgets things it's supposed to know. So now I woke up from theater with the amount of pain I was in. I asked God, please take me. I can't do this. And now I went to theater the previous day at 10 a.m. and woke up the next day at 3 a.m. So I was asleep for so long. I'm so sore and swollen and in so much pain. And it was so horrific and lonely now, because at this time my mom waited for me to wake up and I didn't. And she was told, just go home and you'll come tomorrow morning. Maybe she'll be awake. So I'm alone. And the nurse realized I was in so much pain. So she's those empathetic people, the night nurse. She did not force me to do anything. See how when you when you wake up from theater, they tell you need to pass urine and stuff. She did not force me. Wacha the morning nurse came. Lorraine, hujakojua? Wacha ningoje. Sadly, that nurse slapped me because I was not able to pass urine. Yes. She beat me because I was not able to pass urine. And I was not refusing to pass urine. It just could not come out.
Why?
Was the slap supposed to like awaken something in your body, or was she slapping you because she's a bad, terrible human being that you should go and fire from that job? What is
I
that?
have no idea what her reasoning was. But huko joy, you need to pass urine or your bladder will burst. And I'm like, I'm trying. I cannot even stand. And the first time they made me stand, I stood and fell down. I don't even have balance. So you've come from theater, one of the most major surgeries in the world, and then you fall down. And when you wake up from theater from a very major surgery, you feel even your nails are painful, even your hair is painful, everything is painful. It was so horrific. That experience was one of the worst things I've gone through in my life. But then what can I do? Suck it up. I'm a big girl. Suck it up.
You're not a big girl, a big.
At that point, I did. What would I have done at that point?
Guy, where? Mi nataka kuenda home.
I thought of that.
Guy.
Yeah. So the moment she hit me again, the urine came. Nilijikojolea. It was so bad.
Let me assume that is what she intended. Because if I assume the other direction,
please,
I want to start crying.
You cannot tell me that in medical school there's training for beating patients for them to pass urine. There's the option of a catheter. There's the option of a catheter. There's a solution to that. She just chose
Why
not to.
Why didn't she do that?
I have no idea. But she had the catheter.
Was
she was
it
holding
a public
it.
hospital?
No, it was a private hospital.
Hey, jamani, sasa kama that is happening in a private hospital,
and one of the nicest in Kenya, just so you know. One of the nicest and a very modern one. Yeah.
At this point, how are you processing? Like, okay, I'm not the host. But like at this point, how are you processing your whole journey, like
I really
right
want to
from
die.
3
In
months
all
old.
honesty, without lying, I would just want to die.
Yeah.
I don't want to. I can't go through this. I felt like I'm not going to recover from this because the amount of pain I was in, I can't even walk. And I have to start learning how to walk, get a walker. I cannot even walk myself with the walker because it's too heavy. So someone has to hold me and walk me. And again, if you don't walk, you get blood clots. So you have to walk and walk
Were
after
you
the
done
surgery.
in
And how-
school?
No, I was still
You're
in
still
school.
in high school, am I uni?
And I was in campus now.
Okay.
I was in campus and it was near the end of my long holiday. So I'm supposed to go back to school in like 4 to 6 weeks or less, just about
Did
there.
you end up like deferring a semester or
No.
Ati
you just
no.
went through
I
the
went
entire
back
thing?
to school. First of all, after the surgery, there's no eating. So you have to start slowly, drink warm water the first few days. After warm water, they start giving you warm milk. And it's very small amounts. Then you start taking like apple juice, like that. And then you go to a liquid diet. So it's a diet that has been blended, completely liquid. And then your body now learns how to digest food slowly because it's a very major surgery for the stomach. And then you go to soft food and then so that you can go to normal solid food. Na bado ni solid yenye ni soft like mashed potatoes and then rice. So kitu kama githeri I ate like after 2 years. So like you take a long time for the recovery to happen.
Yeah.
So the
What
walking,
made you go back to school? Like, I'm curious.
I just wanted to complete school. I realized I'm not getting better regardless of if I wait, it's just not getting better. So I went back to school. It was so serious that the dean called me and told me, Lauren, you have to defer. We cannot have a student standing in class. Because I never used to sit down. Nilikuwa nasimama na lecturer. Umesimama uko mbele na mimi nimesimama hapa. You teach, I take notes in my head. And then I used to have these very bad hiccups. So class inaendelea, mina hiccup. And then people are looking at me. I hiccup. And then I hiccup again and hiccup. It was so bad and painful. And then also I could not climb stairs. Na lift ya shule yetu ikuwa inafika all the floors. And then I used to climb one stair at a time. So I step with the left leg and then go again. And then like that. Luckily, I had very amazing friends in campus. So they helped me through the process. But it was so painful. It was so horrific, by the way. And yes, that funny thing, let me tell you, there's someone who's always watching over us. That's the semester I performed the most. Throughout my campus life, I performed very well in that semester. A semester I did not have notes. I was forgetting everything, the brain fog, and then the meds. There's an injection they give you after surgery to make you forget things. Your brain can register stuff when you're in theater. So they give you meds, an injection, and then you're supposed to forget. So I was forgetting a lot, but my mom was helping me study and stuff. So yeah, that was that. So I thought, see, tumesha deal with the acidity. Now, if the acidity now, because it's supposed to prevent acid from flowing back into the esophagus, you're supposed now to recover from the esophagitis or the burning that is going here. So the inflammation is supposed to go down. That's what I thought. That's what I was told. But my body told me, continue thinking. I'll show you.
The cousins now came.
The grandparents. At this point, we are at the ancestors,
Ancestors.
guys.
Ndo nimeanza kuketi. I've not even sat down and gotten used to sitting down and walking normally again. It's just like 5 months post-op. Here we are again. And now I have this unique pain on this side, the upper right quadrant. I'm like, what's happening to me again? Kidogo ago, I do an ultrasound. I have cholecystitis. That is inflammation of the gallbladder. But the gallbladder does not have stones, but then it's very inflamed. It's called acaculous cholecystitis. It's a very rare condition to have because most people just have gallstones. Mine doesn't, and it's very painful. Oh my God, cholecystitis is so painful. And I don't know what is the connection between cholecystitis and appendicitis because now my appendix decided to remind me, mimi nimekuwa hapa for the past like 6 years. But you've never addressed me. Now I'm here. So I started having now pain here. So I have the pain on the right side, on the lower side, and on the upper side. I went to the doctor. The doctor told me we can manage that with antibiotics. If you do not get your gallbladder removed on time, the contaminated bile usually spreads some sort of infection to the pancreas. So now I have pancreatitis. So inflammation of the pancreas. We are there now.
You need like 2-3 episodes
Yeah.
for everything.
Sasa hebu tufike kwa hapa sasa penye tuko leo as we're sitting now, like
Yeah.
Here,
yes.
I just had
How
systemic inflammation of almost every organ inside the abdomen.
What?
The colon, That is IBD. I had jejunal polyps in the small intestines.
At
Gastritis
this
never
point,
went
were they
away.
even asking why is this body
At that point, the
acting
doctor was
like
not
this?
asking why. They were not asking
Why
why.
is no one asking why at this
I have
point?
no idea. I have no idea. But then I started asking why. And I told my mom I need to see now a different doctor, a different specialist, because this is now getting out of hand. You cannot have every organ in your gut inflamed. There must be a problem somewhere.
And which doctors do you see?
Right now,
Yeah.
I have a surgeon
Mhm.
because even right now I have pending surgeries that I have to do. So I've been seeing my surgeon ever since 2022 because I've been having surgeries consecutively. I see a gastroenterologist for my gut conditions. I have adenomyosis, so I see a gynecologist. I see a geneticist because, yes, right now I'm diagnosed with multiple autoimmune conditions, but they still can't figure out why I'm not improving. So now I've been
What are
referred to a
those, like,
geneticist.
if you don't mind, like, what are those?
The conditions.
Yeah,
So I live with
conditions.
Addison's disease, which is simply where the immune system attacks your adrenal glands. There are two triangular organs that sit on top of your kidneys. They're supposed to produce
Oh, yeah.
hormones, like hormones that you need to live, cortisol and aldosterone. Unluckily for me, they don't produce both. So I have to be on steroid replacement therapy for the rest of my life. And see the waking up thing. I cannot just wake up. I cannot tell my brain, wake up. There's a protocol for me to wake up. Yes, I'll hear my alarm. I have to turn a specific position for blood to flow well into my brain because Addison's causes low blood pressure. So allow blood to flow into the brain properly and I'll have good circulation. And then I have to take in a few breaths. And then I have then to turn and then I have to sit because I have orthostatic hypotension where when you stand immediately, your blood pressure drops instantly and then you faint. So now I have to sit for a few minutes and then I have to stand and then I walk. It's a whole process getting out of bed. And I went through high school thinking that something was wrong with me because I could not stay awake simply. Yet it was just low cortisol and low aldosterone. And Addison's is one of the highest morbidity and highest mortality diseases in the world. Dying is very easily. We could be talking here and I just dropped down dead.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't say that.
Yeah, you get into cardiogenic shock from having an adrenal crisis where you just fall sick suddenly. Hivyo tu. Like last year, the worst adrenal crisis I've ever had. I just woke up and it was 5 a.m. and I told my mom, my hand is so numb. I don't know what's happening. And that is how I lost consciousness for 23 hours. And I woke up and found myself in HDU with machines and stuff all over. Yeah, that's what happens with Addison's. It can kill you very easily.
That's a very intense life.
I'm very worried. I'm very worried for myself because I think I'm somewhere there.
And we also need to get to hear Victoria's story as well.
Yeah, and then the other condition I live with is IBD, which for me is UC. It causes inflammation in the colon, causes ulcers and rectal bleeding and such stuff. It's also an autoimmune condition where your immune system attacks the colon and the rectum. And then I live with pyoderma gangrenosum. It's a very rare condition of the skin, autoimmune, where your immune system decides to attack your skin for no reason. I do not recognize your skin as an organ. And because you have other autoimmune conditions, why not attack this one? And so I get very painful, large blisters that turn purple and are very painful and get gangrene if not well treated. And then, so those are now two rare conditions that I live with, Addison's and pyoderma gangrenosum. And then I have reactive arthritis. It's not very rare, but it's quite rare among people with arthritis. It's now inflammation of the joints from simply having an overactive immune system. My immune system just does not slow down. And from not slowing down, it has now also attacked my joints. And now those are the autoimmune conditions. Then I live with 6 chronic conditions. So I have gastritis. I always have antrogastritis regardless of treatment. I have adenomyosis, which is now where cells similar to the wall of the uterus grow in the muscular wall of the uterus. Yeah. And it's one of the most also painful conditions among the CRPS, trigeminal neuralgia. It's just below them there. It's very painful. And then I have pancreatic insufficiency. And then I also have IBS, like I mentioned originally. And then because I have slow gut motility and delayed emptying, I was just recently diagnosed with gastroparesis. So basically my stomach is paralyzed and there's not much I can do about it. I have to get surgery for that.
Mi labda mwanze kunipepeta at this point. I feel anxious. Like, what?
I know it's a lot for one
That's
person
a
to
lot.
carry.
Yeah. Now those are
Yeah.
the chronic ones that I live with minus
Like, do
the
you know
others.
how crazy our bodies are? Like, it looks like this, and
Yeah.
internally it looks like
Yeah,
that.
like
do
we
you know
look
how crazy
perfectly
that
okay.
is?
Yeah.
Like you look very
Why is
fine.
that? At this point, I want people to explain to me, like medical doctors, why
Yeah.
are we looking okay and we're not?
Yeah.
Because actually,
This is too serious.
yeah,
Why
to
are
be
we
serious,
looking
yeah.
okay and we're not?
Yeah.
Because maybe that's why they were not trying to ask, why is this happening?
Mm,
Because when you come to the clinic, you look
you
okay.
look fine.
It's just that your results are really bad, but
Mhm.
you look fine. Maybe that's why they were not asking. Maybe if you know how, like, if they can see it physically, maybe they'd start
Yeah.
addressing other questions, you know. But
Because a lot of
they're not
illnesses,
seeing
there's
it.
always a physical manifestation.
Yeah, no,
You see,
because now you're just
autoimmune, you just
walking.
walk in, you look fine.
You look fine.
Yeah.
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 So bad.
And then I still have bile reflux. It has never gone away. And even after I got the fundoplication, I still have laryngitis. There's still inflammation in my throat.
Mhm.
Yeah. So those are all the conditions that I live with. Yeah.
We need a part 3 and 5 for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I
Victoria.
think, no, for me, mnanipepeta ama niongee tu. I think for me, it's the exact opposite. I've never desired to be a doctor.
Mhm.
In no life would I wake up and be a doctor. Not absolutely no life.
Don't worry, I'm not a doctor right now. I changed my mind along the way.
I know, right?
I realized it's not my calling.
And I have been so, like, I am the one experiencing the pain. I'm the one experiencing the symptoms, but I've always been so passive about it.
Mm.
I never used to. I started talking about my journey in 2025, July.
And this is how many years into illness?
My whole life.
Okay.
So I was born 6 months premature. Okay, I was born at 6 months. That's premature, right? And then I was declared a stillborn baby. And then my grandpa, he was one of the doctors there. So he was not at my mother's delivery, but he came in later to check on the baby. So how's my grandchild doing? And then anaambiwa, niliambiwa mtoto alizaliwa a stillborn, because I didn't cry. And of course, with all the years I spent being pale, I don't blame those people.
Mm.
So akasema yeye aonyeshwe tu bado mtoto. So akamwonyesha penye walikuwa wameweka wale wote wa hiyo siku wenye walizaliwa stillborn babies, akanichukua. So I think a grandfather's love, and also he's very good as a doctor. He's like, when deliveries are difficult, is the one they call.
Mm.
So I don't know what he did, but after interventions, I coughed. I didn't cry. I didn't do anything. I just coughed. They're like, oh, and the pulse was like not too faint. So
Yeah.
now they can detect it. So I was taken to the NICU. Watoto wengine wakatolewa ndo yangu ikue like, this one is emergency. Nikaekwa. Now, that's where everything started. My mom till date says maybe if they didn't try so hard, I wouldn't have lived a difficult life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So fevers, I was nosebleeding. Like, to the tune of, I'd go to school, and by break time, they have to remove my clothes, wash them. The teachers, they just tie me with lessons,
Mm.
and then afterwards, after mekauka, I'm put back into
Unavalishwa.
clothes. So it got to a point, and you see, this whole time I'm going to the clinic, you start with the dispensary, the community dispensary. They tell you, oh, this one, go to Kenyatta, because Kenyatta is our biggest referral hospital. So you go to Kenyatta, you're following. I went to every clinic, even post-operation, and I had never gotten any operation done. They were just trying to find what is the problem. By the time I was 7, they closed my file. They're like, we're not finding. This time, the only thing that is showing is rheumatic fever. they don't know from here, where do we go? At that time, there were no pediatric rheumatologists. They don't know where to take you. They don't know what to do with you. My white blood cells were always abnormal. So I'd gone through oncology. They're saying their cells they're seeing are cancerous. But then
There's
it's
no
like
cancer.
there's no cancer. Now they're like, what is happening?
And like cancer is like up
Sayo
there.
nimepeleka
Oh,
hiyo ndio
hiyo
sasa
ndo,
shida.
It's the OG of
And then the
illnesses.
others are like, but I always say I think that's an easier diagnosis compared to an autoimmune,
I
because
agree with you.
that's like, in
Yeah,
6
I
months,
agree
there's all
with
sorts
you.
of interventions
we
around
are,
And there's a
and there's
timeline.
policies.
and there's
There's
a
a
timeline. That's
timeline.
what I'm
Wow,
saying.
guys.
There's like in 6 months, your story is done.
And
like,
it's either you beat
they've
it or you
already
don't.
exactly. It's either
Yeah.
you beat it or you don't. And once you beat it, life is like a bit,
Yeah.
So, at this point, my teachers are like, no, this child cannot be in school. The fevers were so bad, the fatigue. I was always such a weak child. Like, if you just see me, and then my stomach was always protruded. I'm black as black can come.
Ulikuwa mweusi wewe.
Let me tell you, and my eyes were always like white, and then you're like pale. Yani, what was going on? And then at that point, so at 7 years, they don't know what the problem is. And then you continue going through clinics. Nothing is getting found. So my mom at this point is like, there has to be something. This child cannot be every day. There's a joke in my family. Okay, it's not a joke. They tell me this, that when I was a child, they'd put me down, and then they are talking. I would never cry. No matter how bad the pain is, I would never cry. So they're talking, and then they look like this, I'm convulsing.
Gosh.
They're like, oh God, we are back to the hospital. I almost died so many times that I have wrestled with God about why didn't I die? Like, it's not that hard to die. Like,
Yeah.
it's... So, I cannot tell you, like, this is what they said was the problem. This is what they said. I was 25 years old when I learned that I used to have... my lungs would fill up with water. I never knew that. Like, I never knew anything about it. I was not
It
interested
had been
to
happening
know.
for a long time.
Yeah, I just wanted to... I think my whole life I was living, waiting to get to the next bout of strength so that I can go outside for a bit, and then I'm just like a normal child.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for all the time. So the bouts that I'm like really down, I didn't care about life and anything else. I never cared about school. It's just that I was doing well, but I never cared about school.
Yeah,
For me, it was a social gathering. Because you're
looking
not
for
even in
strength.
school to begin with. You're
Yeah.
in hospital.
Yeah.
Like, zile swings za hospitali
Unaenda tu kukutana na
zimekujua.
watu.
Zinakuita by name.
And then you come to the clinic, your friend that was there with you at the last clinic is dead.
Yeah.
You're like,
Aye.
sasa, like, mbona mimi sikufi? So, I can't remember what age I was, but I was diagnosed with pulmonary hypertension. I've never even counted it as like a diagnosis. My blood pressure is always like very low. Like, okay, not always, but when a flare is here, it goes very low. And I don't ever take it seriously. Like,
You should.
I start taking it seriously when I see my doctor looks worried. Because in my head, my doctor is a superhero. If he's worried, we are something is wrong. Something. That's how I know I need to start crying. If it's crying, we start crying now. But yeah, so my mom found a book called It's Not Just Growing Pains. And then, because we're told mtoto ana grow, hizo ni vitu normal, akisha grow itaisha. So when she read that book, she decided to reach out to doctors at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. Sent all my tests, because at this point Kenyatta has said, tumefunga file. Nyinyi mkienda mpate shida mkuje mtueleze.
What?
Yeah, and they used to even send my mom back home because they used to say, mtoto anakaa vizuri, mkiendelea kumu-expose kwa mashida. Sasa, ndo zitakuja. You're like, I remember the doctors would open my file and look at my mom, look at me, anamuuliza, huyu mtoto mgonjwa ako wapi? My mom would
No.
always ask them, naweza ingia hapa na mtoto mwenye si mgonjwa, nimeacha mgonjwa nje. Like, it doesn't make sense. Ndio huyu hapa. So, the rheumatologist there reached out to her, the pediatric rheumatologist, and was like, okay, so this is either SLE or GRE.
And
So
GRE means?
we have juvenile rheumatoid
Oh,
arthritis.
okay.
We have a doctor in Kenya. He's called Professor Omondi Oyo. I can refer you to him and then you can go see him. So Kenyatta, they say he has a clinic, but it's not a pediatric clinic. So wait till you get to 16
Oh my God.
and then you come.
What?
Remember,
the amount of medical gaslighting.
let me tell you, I'm not even going to school at this point. I used to go to school at 11. I'd come today, miss for 2 weeks, come tomorrow, miss for 3 weeks, come like. So I'm just like a sick child. There's no I'm going, and then you're told the doctor that can help you, ngojea mtoto afike
Utangoja.
16. Atafika 16 aje.
Eh,
She's not
You have to
getting
pray for a
help.
miracle.
So at 12, I got like this really bad. The way I'm saying, I never take anything seriously. I think it's because most of the time people say you're faking it. No one was telling me I'm faking it. I just was in my head. I had blocked it. It's like it's not happening to me. No one even in school knew what I was going through except the teachers, because they have to understand, because they have to make accommodations for you. So people used to think you're coming at 11, you're wearing leg warmers, you're wearing sijui what, your bottle is looking sijui how. They're thinking this one it's kubembeleza mingi.
spoiled
Nicole
child.
kid.
Spoiled kid.
I get that till date, like
Yeah.
that I'm spoiled. So I get this really bad attack. I used to go, my mom would take me to the hospital, come back with me, take me to the hospital. By the time they realized it's a heart issue, and referred me to the cardiologist. By the time I was getting to the cardiologist, we were there on day 3 consecutively, and the doctor looked at me once and was like, unataka kuniambia umekuwa ukikuja na huyu mtoto hapa kwa hiyo hospitali na unaambia urudi na huyu mtoto huyu? She's like, this one is an emergency. I can't even let you go anywhere with her. She has to be admitted, and she cannot be admitted in the general ward. We'll lose her by morning. This I'm saying, I've never actually said it anywhere, but this I'm saying now just to show what our public health system looks like. And that's the biggest hospital that we have. People come from Tanzania to come to Kenyatta, and that's how we are experiencing it as Kenyans. And I'm not saying that it's not having like big things that they're doing. They're doing amazing work. It's just that there are also this many gaps that need to be addressed. So I got admitted at the private wing because my mom was also now scared to, where do we take her? So I was admitted at the private wing. I am telling you, it's like the doctor was thinking, we will not find her in the morning. She already had settled it in her mind. So by the time she was coming to see me in the morning, I remember that it was bed 12. By the time she was coming, alikuja, akaingia, because my mom was not there yet. Alikuja, akaingia, akasema, ule mtoto mwenye niliacha hapa jana ako wapi? Juu amepata nimesmile na alikuwa amekuja either kuniingiza HDU or completely we've lost her. Namba si ndio huyo mtoto. Anasema it can't be her. Why is she smiling?
Miraculous.
What is funny about smiling? So my pressure was really bad. It was very, very low. My pulmonary vein that blocks the deoxygenated blood was not doing its job. So the body was not getting sufficient oxygenated blood because it was getting mixed up. I know of friends who identify me outside by tulikuchangia ukiwa primary ulikuwa na heart problem.
What?
Yeah.
Ule Victoria wa kuchangiwa.
Someone stopped me and I was like, wait, I don't remember you. Yeah, so that's how it was. But in my head at this point, I'm still not thinking something is terribly wrong with me. I'm just thinking this is how I live life. So later, we continued with the doctor, the cardiologist. They're saying we need to operate. Can't operate. She's too weak. Once we open her up, that's it. We are losing her. So all my operations, I think, the ones that were recommended, that's how it used to go. If we open this one up, Nivyo, imeisha. And my mom was always like, I think a hill she'd die on is my child cannot go through surgery. She's always so scared that I would not wake up. And she's like, heri tuishi na mwenye ako hapa na struggle. So yeah,
Yo.
something like that. But sasa fast forward, I am 14 years old. We've decided we can't go the route here, Kenyatta. The child is not getting better. Let's find the doctor in his private clinic. So we found Prof. I remember he was away. My mom
So
was
chill.
calling.
All this time you guys were waiting for you to get to 16.
All this time, you know the way like you're treating issues that are not the main issue. Tuna pakilia bandage, but like it's just band-aid. We're putting band-aid until it's 16 and she can feel. I think also they were not thinking it's a big
It's a serious
rheumatology issue. Like, you know, they just think, you know, you look well. Yes, the results are bad, but you're looking well. You know, I hate that part of it.
Hence why I say,
but I do
you
like
don't
it
need
a
to
lot.
look sick to actually be sick.
Yeah, I like it a lot as well because then I can just come sit here and I don't have to explain I'm not okay to anyone. I just exist through life. But anyway, so at 14, my doctor was out of the country. My mom was like, at this point, I remember when I was coming to see my doctor, I was on a wheelchair. So, he comes in, he flies in. We're at the clinic, the receptionist are saying, doctor is not around and doctor is not coming. They don't know my mother has made it an emergency for him that wherever you are, you have to come and see this one. He came in, he came straight to the clinic, he saw me. We started running tests. You know, that's another part of autoimmune issues. We started running tests, ran many tests. And then after that, they said it's JIA, juvenile idiopathic arthritis. You know, at this point, when you tell me JIA, what the idiopathic means is we don't know where it's coming from. Yeah. So when you tell me to explain what does that mean, if the medical doctors cannot explain, I cannot explain it for you. Whom am I? So we continued with care. This is now a private institution. Now the financial bit of it, but we had insurance at that time. My mom's workplace gave her insurance for me instead of her. And they did understand, like, when we are saying you're giving her insurance for her child, this means we will max this insurance each and every time. So I remember I had a higher limit than the rest of the covers. I used to be seen at the best hospitals when I'm admitted. It's private hospitals that they do take care of you. My doctor has this thing where it's just one nurse who will be attending to you the entire period you're admitted. Okay, I don't know if it's just with me, but yeah, it's like that.
For very chronic, serious cases, it's good.
Yeah, because now I realize, you see that thing of you're calling on a nurse because something is going really bad and you can feel it's going really bad and they don't care. They don't come. They come after 55 minutes when it's already so bad. You know, they just, it's not them. So why should they? But anyway, so at that point, that was the first, in my head, that's the first diagnosis because the autoimmune diagnosis. We are treating it. I start getting a bit stable. I've never really been stable. So, I go to high school. At that point, I was in Form 1. And then just one term of Form 1 was enough to say, it is not possible. I was rushed again. It was an emergency. I got admitted because I remember all my nights to that first term. And I was only there for 2 weeks. I remember all of them because I didn't sleep for that entire time. I used to stay up, read the Bible, and cry because I used to read only Psalms, and it can't be a happy Psalm because I feel like you're not getting me, you know. I'd cry and then in the morning, just because I used to shower in the evening because watu wa majimoto, And then in the morning, you just dress up nicely, go to class like nothing happened. During the night, people slept. They were struggling to wake up. You are not even asleep. The pain now intensifies because your body is now not resting at all. Your brain is awake. So the pain is at its maximum. Fast forward, I go through high school like that. Day school, are we homeschooling? Are we like that? That's how I went through high school. I finished high school after 1.5 years out of school. And then I just went back like nothing happened. And then we continued with life. I get to, what is it called? I get to college.
Really? Yeah.
I remember in college, what is it called? Medical reports that you have to, a public college, the medical reports that you have to come with so that they ascertain nothing's wrong with you, or just note down anything that is wrong with you so that in case you get an attack in school, if it's asthma, they know you have asthma, like that. I bring my reports, they're like, sir, walileta daktari wa shule sasa. Akasema huyu mtoto hatuwezi muadmit, you just go back with them. Akipona, mtamleta asome. I was always the child
Higher learning.
who wants, I was always the child who wants to go to school. I really loved school because I felt like I didn't have an opportunity to experience it.
Yeah.
So I went and told my mom, you know what? Let's go to that clinic that people are paying 500. Let's have it written, I'm okay. And then we come again tomorrow with different clothes. They will not know it's us. That's what we did. We went, we gave the report. I was admitted. Terrible mistake. By the time I was like, I really struggled a lot. But through that year, by the time I was done, I was so sick that it took 2 years for me to be able to get out of the house 2 days consecutively. And for me, with all those symptoms of, I just knew since I was a baby, I don't eat a lot of foods. I really delayed, like stool for me is like, I don't even think I should tell the doctor that is what is happening.
Yeah.
It's just a normal symptom in my life. That's how it is. I have created a life around my symptoms. That's actually how I've processed being unwell.
So
for all these
lupus was
years.
diagnosed later in life.
So at 15, so you remember GIA is at 14. At 15, one of the doctors that were practicing where my doctor was, I'd always be seen by my doctor and then ananipeleka kwa huyo anamwelezelezea tu vitu, I think I was just being used also as a, like, jua na huyu, juu shida zake ni mingi.
As a
I
learning
don't know.
experience.
Yeah. So I remember one time he was not in. I saw the other doctor. He ordered for tests and then it came and then he said, this is also lupus. My doctor came back and was like, nani alikwambia hivyo? Yeah, I think he was always, and I say this knowing that might not be the truth, but he really did not want this lupus diagnosis. Like it was personal for him, or rather it felt like it was personal for him. He didn't want it. He wrote it down for the first time when I was 23. Yes, when I was 23. But the other doctors had already told us like
could
2
be
times
lupus.
already. But for us, I didn't want it also as a diagnosis, just because I felt like, it's better when it's just one thing that people know you have a problem. Now, when we're adding more things, I don't like it. So I used to see my doctor write JIA, CRPS. I didn't know CRPS. No one sat me down to tell me CRPS is a diagnosis. So I just knew he was explaining that pain for me was different than pain for everyone else. And that's how I knew what the CRPS is. I didn't know. No one sat me down. I didn't even Google it. You know how people struggle with, don't go to Dr. Google. I have never gone to Dr. Google to ask about anything. So now it was GIA, CRPS, and CRPS is complex regional pain syndrome, and now SLE. And then we were doing a
So,
rheumatology camp.
we also need to conclude. So now you can give your story and then end with like hope for somebody who's going through multiple conditions. And then also you'll have like 1 minute to end. Yeah.
Okay, so in 20, I think it was 2024, end of 2024, end of 2025, we were doing a rheumatology camp. And one of the doctors, I was just like, everyone had been seen. I said, let me just go and get seen. I went and I was explaining, there's this pain I'm feeling. And after that, she was like, oh, that's fibromyalgia. I was like, what? What is that? I was so heartbroken. That was the first time it was ever said to me. Like any diagnosis was said to me casually. Usually it passes through my mom.
Yeah.
And then my mom dumps it down for me. Like, that's how it was. But for me, what my journey has taught me and all these years of pain and going through education, the education system is not built for any child who's going through any kind of chronic illness.
True.
So what it has taught me is that at the end of the day, your health is your responsibility in the way that you have to advocate for yourself in spaces. You have to say, I'm not coming to that meeting if there's no hot water, and then that place also where I'm coming to sit, the seats are comfortable, and because I have to go back and deal with the symptoms later while everyone else is going back to their own houses. So I have grown with a very fierce need to say, I don't come to cold places. I don't like, yes, you'll call it I'm spoiled and my mother has babied me a lot. That's your business.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
The reality
So,
is.
yeah, that's how I have grown. And then I also haven't created an identity around anything I'm going through. I just feel like Victoria is Victoria and Victoria goes through this many things, but she's still Victoria at the end of the day. At the core of who I am, that's not who I am. And also just being able to listen to your body all the time. Listen to your body. And what you're not able to do, as much as there's guilt, cancel the plans. They will not kill you. And if you lose them, you will find others. Yeah, that's how I go through life. And the hope that I can tell someone who's newly diagnosed or someone who's dealing with something and you're thinking, oh, mine is just one problem. There's nothing like that. That one problem is a big problem to your body because we are different. So what I'd say is that do not feel the need to, oh, there's someone who has it worse. So what? They have it worse. You have it like this. That's the point. And you're going through it and it's authentic to you. So always be kind and gracious to your body. That's what I'd say. Yeah.
Nice. I like how you're separating yourself from the illness. Like you're not.
Me, I think I need to see a therapist. Nimeona nika niko passive sana.
It's
Like
it's a coping
recently,
mechanism.
I went to the doctor and I have the blood pressure was very low, and being admitted meant being admitted in a public hospital and I've never been admitted in a public hospital because of now finances from where we're standing. So, I came back home and then I have just been like, I noticed for many months that my oxygen levels were fluctuating really badly. So I stopped measuring because I was thinking, kila sai machine beat. I am
Machine
not.
iko na shida.
Hii machine, it's like I don't know how to measure it.
Haikutaki vizuri.
And then when the others in the house are doing it, it's quiet,
normal.
and I'm like, where? So I think if there's anything I've picked from today is please do not ignore it. It might actually be really, really worse later on. So yeah.
Okay. How about you? Like speak to someone who's going through this and they feel alone. Yeah.
First, I'd like to tell anyone who's newly diagnosed or going through chronic illness, whether autoimmune or not, rest. It's not an emergency. Rest. If it's not a matter of life and death, no one is dying if this is not done. Rest. You need it. You cannot live without it. If you die, the world continues. True. Honestly, today, if I die, my family will be sad, my friends will be sad. But after I'm buried, the world does not stop.
Yeah.
We knew Lorraine, and that's it. And after 50 years, no one will actually remember there was a Lorraine on this earth.
For sure.
Right? So rest. It's not that serious. Take it each day, one day at a time. Take it slow. Don't let anyone pressure you into anything. Don't let teachers, if you're in school, stress you into if you cannot meet your assignment deadlines. I'm not saying don't do your assignments, but whatever it is, slow down. I went back to school after not recovering, and I've really paid for it later on. So defer that semester. It's totally okay. Slow down. And as someone who lives with very low blood pressure like her, it's not that serious. The hurry, the stress, because me, I
Okay.
cannot fight stress because I don't have enough cortisol. Maybe I'm the kind of person, you stress me out, I faint. Yeah, because I cannot handle stress. My body does not even understand stress like that. I get stung by a bee, I faint, and it could kill me because my body does not recognize this is poison. I should produce adrenaline, nishtue mwili. Gai, nimeumwa na nyuki. No, my body does not do that. So please take it slow.
Yeah.
Your battery needs to be fully charged. When we go to sleep, people with chronic illnesses, it's like a phone battery. Kila mtu akiamka the next day, their battery is at 100. Sisi, we can even wake up with 10, even 2%,
Okay.
even a 1%.
Negative
It's
25.
okay. I know. Please, it's not
Yeah.
that serious.
Yeah.
And don't change yourself for other people to accommodate other people.
For sure.
Yes, separate, like she said, your identity from the chronic illness, but also don't change who you are. I'm not going to pretend not to suffer from Addison's disease.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend that I can handle it. Ati sasa nitapiga sherehe na nyinyi. Ati sasa nitaenda hike the whole day because you guys can do it and I want to hang out with you guys. No, if you're my friends, you're going to accommodate me. We're going to hike for 2 kilometers and go back home if the hike was 10 kilometers. And if not, I'm not coming. You guys go have fun. It's okay. Don't change yourself. Protect yourself. Guard yourself. Be your first advocate.
Yeah.
Fight for yourself and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Ukisema unaumwa kidole and they do an ultrasound as CT scan and find the finger is okay. If your finger is hurting, it's hurting and let no one else tell you otherwise. And it's okay to not look sick also. You don't have to look vibaya ati sasa ukae sijui aje ujaoga siku 3 and stuff for people to believe you're sick.
Yeah.
No. One thing about me, I like to look good. I'll dress up, wear my heels, a full face beat, nice hair, and show up and katikati hiyo event, I'll go to the loo, diarrhea, and come back like I didn't have the worst bout of diarrhea that ever existed. No, it's
For
true.
sure. Yeah,
It's
we've
true.
all done that so
Yeah.
many times.
No, honestly, as someone who has
Yeah.
even fecal incontinence from the IBD, nitava vizuri nivae diaper na nikuje. This is a topic that is not talked about. It's okay for me to have an adult diaper outside there. I've not hurt anyone.
Yeah.
So I'll be myself regardless of anything. Yes. And I like for people to see us as different from our diagnoses.
Yeah.
Also. Yeah. So si ujue, ule Lorin mwenye anakanga vibaya juu ni mgonjwa. Maybe I'll show up nice and all that. No
I
one
feel
will
like
like,
that.
you know, like the friends, like you've said, and maybe we do need a whole conversation about
Yeah,
friendships.
we do.
The friends thing, now my closest friend can look at me and tell me you're not okay. Like, and it's
They've
taken
known you
years.
that much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they know.
And
Yeah.
intentionality as well.
Exactly.
Because now you won't look it, but there's a way my eyes look when I'm not okay. I know, and my mother knows, but now my friend now knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's important because you'll always ask me how I am and I'll say I'm fine. I don't like being asked how are you? How's your health today? I'm
Because how
like,
do you answer that
see the way
question?
it was yesterday. That is how it is today.
Yeah.
Like if you're expecting a praise report today, it does not work like that.
I know.
Praise report.
And
Yeah.
also, we don't like the washe moments. Ati washe.
Oh my,
Yeah.
how can I fix it for you? I'm like, even God is not fixing it. Just
I
leave
know.
it. Leave it for God to handle.
Exactly.
What can you really do? Yeah, so
Well,
that's
anyway.
important.
Thank you so much for that. I wish we had more time because there's clearly a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you also for being with us this entire time. If we have a part 2, we'll let you guys know. But yeah, thank you so much. And that's the end of our podcast today. So see you guys next time.